Thank you. Because this year in November of 2010, we are going to take South Carolina back. We, the people who love this state, who care about this state, who know that we can be better than what our leaders have been over the last 8 years. If there's one thing I've learned as I've traveled South Carolina, it's that people still love their neighbors, and people still believe that we can do whatever we want to if we just work hard and we pull together. Woo! Step back a moment with me and think about where we are, because it's our responsibility to share with our neighbors, with our friends, with our church members, the situation that South Carolina is in. And it is quite dire, my friends. We're in a crisis in this state. We have one of the highest unemployment rates in the nation, and we have for the last 7 years. We are losing young South Carolinians who are going elsewhere for economic opportunity, moving to Georgia and Tennessee and North Carolina. We are laying public school teachers off in this state at a rate we have never seen in my lifetime. We can do better than that. We can do better than that. Because unless you know where you came from, you don't know how to go in a different direction. It's not an accident that these things have happened in South Carolina. Over the last 8 years, we have had an arrogance of power. Under our current governor, we have seen an abdication of responsibility. We have seen a man who pled no contest over 60 ethics violations, who forgot why he was elected to office. With his friends, we've seen a treasurer go to jail for drug dealing. We've seen an agricultural secretary go to jail for bribery. And we have been embarrassed over and over and over again on late night television, and I, for one, am tired of it. We are going to do better, and it's a stark choice this year. This isn't one of those years where people can say, oh, the two candidates for governor, they're the same thing, talking about the same stuff. Oh no, this is a very, very different election. And the good news is that you in this room have the right candidate this time, and I'm ready to work to make that happen. It's our responsibility to share the message of the differences between these two candidates, to let our friends know, to let our neighbors know. This election is not about being a Democrat, ladies and gentlemen. It's not about being a Republican. It's about the state of South Carolina. It's about moving this state forward. The stakes are high. We all have to come together, regardless of party, regardless of race, regardless of region. We have to come together if we're going to find solutions to South Carolina. I am proud that in this race, I'm the candidate that supports public schools. I'm proud that I said no to vouchers while my opponent has tried to pull $500 million out of the public schools. I'm proud to be in this race the candidate who's been endorsed by businesses and business groups across South Carolina, because they know it's not good enough to do what Representative Haley and Mark Sanford have done for the last few years and just sit back and say, business will come. We got to get up out the chair and go out and recruit business back in. I'm proud that I'm a candidate who pays his taxes. Because if you can't even get a job working for the Department of Revenue, how can you expect to be governor of South Carolina? Proverbs that without a vision, the people perish. And we have been without a vision for oh so long in this state. But the vision that I have is the vision that you have. It is the vision of a governor who will work with people to bring them together across the partisan divide, across the regions of South Carolina, so that instead of having the highest unemployment rate like we do now, we can be what we once were under the great governors of this state. We can be an economic model for the rest of the country. So we can be what we once were under great governors of this state, where we were seen as on the cutting edge of educational reform and investment. We can be what we once were under great governors of this state, which is proud of our leaders again. And we will be. I'm proud to be the candidate, your candidate, who's actually accomplished something in his career and wants to bring that same attitude to the governor's race. Because you know what? We've had a governor who didn't accomplish anything when he was in the House of Representatives for the last 8 years as governor, and it ain't worked out so well. This time, we need someone who's done something, who's achieved something, who's worked with others. I'm not going to be toting pigs into the State House. I'm going to be working with people to make a difference. Proud that I work with Democrats and Republicans to create the Conservation Land Bank to save thousands of acres for our future generations. My children and your children. These are the things we can do together. I'm proud that I work with Republicans and Democrats to raise the nation's lowest cigarette tax to a reasonable amount so that we can help such teenage smokers. We need common sense back in state government. I'm glad to be the common sense, honest candidate in this race. And I will work hard. Let me just close by this, and I'm going to turn it over to the future Lieutenant Governor, Ashley Cooper. South Carolina to make this state what we deserve it to be. I want you all to think back a couple months ago, because this is what I saw. The national media, that mainstream media we heard so much about and we hear so much about, well, they proclaimed Nikki Haley governor of South Carolina about 2 months ago. They did. They did. But they forgot to tell some very important people. They forgot to tell the people of South Carolina.